And against a 2x2, what would you do here? How we said it? Just tell me where to put these guys. You start with this corner.
Put your corner out down what's that, X.
Yep.
You put a corner on Y. He'll be about not maybe at 3 yards, not 5 all the way.
Okay. But that right there good?
That's good. And same with the other corner.
Okay. I'm actually gonna zoom out of here a little bit so we can see the whole thing.
Then
right.
you have your Will and your Mike. They'll be at 5 yards in the gaps.
In the gaps right here?
No, in the gaps between D tackle and DN.
Okay. We move the DN outside.
He'll be head up on him.
Head up. DN head up there.
No, you slide him back in.
Slide him back in.
Mm-hmm. I just now noticed on the screen you got wide splits. A little bit
yeah,
wider
I opened it up a little bit because it didn't match up the scale last time we did it, so I kind of opened them up a little bit. So
I ain't pay that no attention. So yeah, you can slide the defensive tackle over.
All right, to the A gaps or head up over the guards.
He'll be head up, and then the other guy be in the A gap.
Okay.
Just slightly though.
Just slightly.
Right
so
there.
I'm shading his inside shoulder.
Yep.
Okay. The Mike is where?
Right. In between. You can slide that DN out too. Like I said, I just noticed that you had the wider splits right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna move him out of the way for
He goes in between. Both linebackers go in between the D tackle and the DN.
You got the Will and the Sam right there.
Yep.
And the Mikes right here. Are they now? What's their depth?
No. My Will and Mike are the two inside out. The guy, what did he have him as? A Sam?
You got Sam right here.
Yeah, I don't call them that. They was the outside safeties for me.
Okay. You want to just keep him at Sam, or you want me to change that?
That's fine. You can leave him at. You put Sam out there, right on that line, right across from where you have the X Factor player at.
Right here.
Other side.
Here.
Just match them up. Yeah, and match them up so they can literally look straight across each other.
So these two like that.
Back them back up. Right there. Right there. And take Mike and move him over. Right there.
Okay.
And drop the free safety back.
Okay.
Right there. There we go.
All right.
This is what we're starting off in until.
He's a little off.
Now the way I'm looking at this, explained before, my ideology is I'm gonna do it as if I'm going against y'all two. Now, normally for the guys that watch this video, unless you've been around the area for a long time, you're really not gonna know what you're gonna face. So most of the teams that we face, they're gonna run the ball or look to run the ball first. So I'm not really too worried about passing, but just for video purposes, I know these two guys here are air raid guys. So for video purposes, I do know for a fact, if I come out in this right here, it's automatically checked to something quick to one of these slot receivers. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So coming out for video purposes, I'm going to press down with my two outside safeties.
These two guys, they're going to press?
Yeah, they are not all the way in your face. They'll be right there. And they should be at the same depth right there.
And now the corners still stay the same depth, correct?
Yep. Corners stay the same.
Okay.
Good move.
Okay. Well, let's just say, Coach, I'll go first. Me personally, me just as an offensive guy, I like to, and I guess I'm giving my secrets here a little bit. I like to attack a defense, especially early. I like to attack a defense from the outside in. So I'm going to test these two guys first. Even if I don't really know too much about them, if I see press coverage early on like that, I'm going to obviously test them deep. So I'm going to try. Oh, well, don't want to do that though. That's not what I want.
You throwing picks already?
Yeah, outside release.
You got him scared.
Man, he did it again. Here we go.
They're good at going off the sideline.
My mouse is going haywire on me. Outside release. So I'm me first, and this is me personally, Coach. I'm going to see who your weakest corner is, because a lot of, and this is just from my experience, a lot of defensive guys that I kind of come up against, they a lot of times, and we very rarely are seeing press coverage with corners. A lot of times we will see those corners and they're sitting way back here a lot of times. And so that kind of tells me that what that defensive guy is thinking is he's trying to hide his corners, trying to protect him, because that's typically where they like to put their weaker guys. So that's who I'm trying to find first. Who the weakest corners, who I can pick on the most. Because I'm already automatically going to assume that that my receivers are better than your cornerbacks. So that's what I would initially try out first. Coach, would you do anything different?
No. I do the same thing. I'm actually, for us, well, yeah. If they're up close like that, I mean, I'm assuming whether it's zone or man, like you said, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're going deep. We're going deep, and I mean that's just what we're going to do, and we're going to like that matchup. The
Yeah.
other, what middle school? Like I said, I'm trying to think of middle school. The two things that I'm looking at generally, I'm looking at your two defenders. I want to know what the backer's doing on my slot guys. I want to know if they're uptight, if they're back. I want to know who's got the. I want to know who's got the running back, and I also want to know your ends. I want to know if they're inside, outside. I want to know because basically, like you're talking about, Randy, most guys are going to run the ball, and you're going to put your best defensive player probably if that guy on the right there, because most teams are going to run to the right. They're going to run off tackle. So your right defensive end is probably your best player. A lot of times against us, air raid guys, we find that guy gets switched to the left. Why? Because we're throwing it, and we're right-handed, so they kind of switch their guys. But generally speaking, the best defensive guy on the field is probably that defensive, end right there. Mm-hmm. So I'm checking him out, see how good he is. Is he a rusher? Is he going to pinch down and hold the C-gap? Or is he going to come upfield and get us? And I want to know where the two. I'm not as concerned about the outside receivers, outside corners. If they're going to come up like that, I'm throwing it deep. I'm throwing hides. I'm throwing, pearl flat and goes. Yep. We're going to really wear them out. But I want to know, the inside backers generally are going to tell me what kind of defensive secondary and coverage you're going to do, whether they're going to, turn and run with your guy, or they're going to back up and go in flats, that type of thing. And I want to know if I swing my R, does he have him or does the inside backer have him? Those are generally the three things I'm really looking for when I play each game. If I didn't have film study and all that, and I'm just playing you for the first time and I don't have anything to look at, those are the three areas that I'm looking at. Because you're right, Randy. If we play, I'm not going to run the ball. you don't have to worry about it. We're not going to run it. You may get a bunch of sacks, but you're right. You don't have to worry about running the ball or defending the run, because we're not going to run it. Jason did a show. We did a show where we went through Eclipse, and I showed him a game that we played, and he'll tell you we don't have any running plays. We threw the ball a bunch of times that game.
Yeah.
Well, see, the surprise that we get to give people is we can cover, because a lot of the time, middle school, you don't face traditional, well, at least we don't. You don't face traditional air raid teams, or teams that's going to throw it 90% of the time or a high percentage. They may sneak a pass in there or two, right, or a screen or something, but they're more likely going to turn and look to score 6 points and then run the clock out. That's what we face.
Yeah. Yep, got it.
But we surprise teams that we can cover. So can you put my next question? Can you put the routes that y'all had up there back again?
Yeah, I wanted before I do that, Coach. I wanted to kind of just discuss what I kind of saw. I mean, if I see this, I'm seeing this right here.
Yep.
Here, and then also right here.
That's right. Yeah, I want to know.
That's what I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing, Mike talked about, he's not going to run the ball. I like to run the ball, so I see a 6-man box, and so I a lot of times myself I will use the quarterback in the run game as well. So as far as I can tell, right there, I got 6-on-6. I like those odds as well. So I would run the ball. You know what I mean?
For video purposes, let me just explain a little bit, because everything that y'all saying is playing right into my hand, and I love it. I am a blitz heavy person, and for those who don't really know, blitzing is a risk reward.
Yep.
So for me, if I've never played Mike or Jason before, when I come out, how I'm assessing you is how well can your O line stand? How well can your O line stand up? And that's with or without pressure. So when the ball snaps and I'm looking at your O line and my guys are instantly block shedding, I know I got you from there. Especially if you trying to run the ball. Now it's a little I take the same approach passing, but a little different, because with passing you really don't have to move somebody out of the way. You really just got to be in their way long enough for the quarterback to get the ball out.
Yep.
So my next obsession is, what kind of quarterback do you got? Can he spin it? Can he get out there and look off, after that one read is taken away? If I get a chance to see film on you, most of the time at this level at least, it's one read and go. If I can take away that one read, now your quarterback's going into panic mode. Once I get him into panic mode, here comes the house.
Right.
Because I done took away your one read. But even though, like I said, I know y'all got the air raid is kind of an if then. All right, if that's not there, then go to this. If this ain't there, go back to that. So it's more of a, I haven't had my chance to play somebody that's a specific passing team, but I've had the scenario laid out in my head. But I'm coming. I don't know how much. I don't know how much more. I'm gonna confuse the heck out of your O line on who to block, because in the defenses I run is a 4-2-5 mixed with a 3-5, and I love those because you can make whatever front you want. I come out in the 4-2, and then we come out of halftime, we in the 3-5, or it looks like a 3-5 or 5-2. You just don't know, and mix in the fact you don't know who's coming. Yeah. Mike and Will can jump down in the thing, and your quarterback's like, "Oh, here they come." Yeah. Well, here come the outside safeties off the edge, and now, you get what I'm saying.
The teams you play, do your teams huddle up, or do they go no huddle? Do they go fast, or do most of the teams huddle up?
They mostly huddle. They huddle. Like I said, most of the teams we play, they look to score 6 points and make a stop on defense and grind the ball out.
They're gonna milk the clock.
Yeah, they'll be happy.
How long are your games? That's because
8-minute quarters.
Okay.
So they'll look to score 6 points, stop you on defense, and they'll be okay with holding the ball for a whole quarter.
Jason, do you guys huddle?
No.
Okay.
But I tell my quarterback, this is one thing I have. I automatically tell my quarterback, first time we call stick, I'm telling him, throw this right away. If I see that kind of if I see that, we'll throw this first play of the game.
Okay, so draw your stick route out then. So
stick route would be right here.
Something like that. Okay, what's your outside guy going to do?
He's vertical.
To get out of the way.
It's a typical on the backside is a one. I got this from Kerry Nolan, so I got to give him credit.
Lance.
He's got a 1-step slant. He's got a 3-step slant.
Yeah.
And we can run this the opposite way too, where I can have, I can still put the F right here, but we can run the stick here. We can run the concept here, and all he does is swing out this way.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not kind of it all depends on where we decide to put F. So we're not kind of giving things away. So I can run the concept out of the way and have the running back line up on either side of the quarterback. And me personally like the offset, but this is what I would be doing. I would be telling first play again. First time we run stick, I don't care what kind of coverage, unless they put one guy up here, kind of automatically trying to take away the running back. We're throwing the swing out to the running back first time. He's going to catch this guy's eyes, and it's going to catch this guy's eyes. And then on top of that, I want to see which one of these reacts to run out with him. if they do it all. So
Great play.
right there, right
Solid,
What's that?
solid play. We do something not quite exactly like that, but very similar. But yeah, super solid. And I do the same thing for the exact same reasons. I want to know what those two linebackers are doing and who's got who.
Yep. So there's the
There's the old stick. Yeah, there's the stick.
there's the routes there, Randy. So against that, say you knew what was coming. You
All
guys,
right. So my corners, they have zero run responsibility.
Okay.
So what I teach my guys cover one, cover three, and cover four, but it's base cover three. So my corners are automatically on the snap. They're gone. They're going back there to their cover three shell because you're not beating me over the top. So that's why I was saying in the beginning, you want to throw the ball deep, you're playing right into my hand because they're instantly going. There ain't no waiting to see what that guy. They're going to what I call the umbrella. So the corners are gone.
mm-hmm.
So if you're running this and studying different defenses, the area you're throwing the ball in is kind of like it's no man's land. That's what I call it. And when I call it that because I mean most people they're gonna give you that. They're gonna give, hey man, you know what, you can have that and we'll just come up and make the tackle. And that's kind of what it is. So just for demonstration purposes, you can go ahead and drop that corner back to his third.
Yeah, he's less than 3 yards off the ball.
Yes. Well, just for the video purposes. Honestly, if I've never played you, I'm gonna sit him at 5.
Okay.
Just
All right.
just but I'm in this video,
But
I'm playing y'all. So I'm doing it as if I'm playing y'all in the games. In the game, I know you're throwing the ball, so they're gonna sit at 3, so you can't just pop up and sling it out there.
he's still bailing though.
Yeah, he's gone. No
Now
matter
is
what,
he
he's gone.
so how is he? No, I'm just kind of curious because it's kind of a dead giveaway too. Pre-snap, how is he turned? How is he lined? How is he aligned?
Oh,
Is he
he's
lined like,
lined.
or is he kind of facing in?
I kind of depending on what kind of player I got out there. One that well, for one, I'm not gonna put nobody out there I don't trust. But if he's kind of like one of the guys that you have listed as my X factor, I leave it to him. But most of the time, he's faced inside, looking at the quarterback.
Okay,
So
so
it's
because
kind of a dead giveaway.
yeah,
For a smart quarterback, it's a dead giveaway.
well, I mean, me as a coach, knowing that, and kind of learning is, I'm going to tell my quarterback, hey, look at the quarterback, look at the corners, look how they're aligned. Because if they're faced in, that's kind of almost a dead giveaway that they're going to bail out of that. It's not going to be man coverage. So be prepared for that and watch what that corner does. Because then we come back and if he is bailing, say, hey, coach, he's bailing. We can take advantage of that elsewhere. And we're like, okay, well, let's come back to it. So that's what
But
we'll
see,
see. So
how I teach my guys to make it easy is, like I said, you're creating an umbrella. So
yep.
he's gone. All right. Now you got your outside safety. Hey, y'all are tag teaming. He has you back deep. You have him underneath. So if you throw that right, and I stress strongly, you do not come out of your zone until you see that ball is out the quarterback hand. So if he's dropping out to the flats like he's supposed to at the snap of the ball, and we see that you're passing, as soon as that ball comes out, here he comes. Like he's coming. Like we're fast reacting, but I preach like crazy. Like, hey, look, you do not play the man. You play your area. You do not leave your area until that ball is out of his hand.
But it's okay. So no, he's still going to bail. So say, for example, he bails.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
But by the time he sees,
Oh, I'm not talking about him. The guy, like I'm the corners, they're gone. At this point, I'm talking about my
this guy,
outside safety. Yes,
him.
underneath.
Okay.
So
So
yeah. So he has curl flats, more so flats than curls because you have the line middle backer that plays the curl also. So he's on the snap of the ball, he's working his way out. If it ain't nothing flat, and
he's
like
moving this way first.
yeah, he's coming flat and working his way backwards for anything that's there.
Then
Ain't
he's
no
going.
need to just stand
All
there.
right, I got a
Yes.
question. All right, if what Jason's got drawn up, and so is he inside him, head up, outside
Yeah,
out?
that's how that was.
How's he lined up initially?
Uh,
And if Jason's guy he's got him dropped. But basically on the snap of the ball, even though he's going inside there, he's going vertical for all intents purposes. I mean, he's going downfield. So your guy, what are you telling that guy to do? Is he supposed to, push him? Don't let him go across your face until and then drop, or if he
Um,
goes vertical, what are you telling him to do if
You're
that
talking about the corner.
line is going? Because you got to assume that that's an all vert. If he's
yeah,
going, if
yeah,
he's
yeah, let's see.
supposed to,
Let's see
so
if not. I'm glad you said that, man, because it's something that I touch on at kind of at the beginning. Because offensively, you teach four verts first, and then you go back and teach how to defend it. So if you could just put it on the screen for demonstration purposes, put your Z on the fly route also.
Oh, you want vertical routes? Or let me get
You just put him on just put what is that Z? Just put him on a fly route.
okay. Outside release, or you want them kind of
Whatever you
like
however you want to draw him up. That's fine right there.
yeah,
So
typical air raid guy is going to go down the landmarks. The landmarks
the hash? Yeah.
is the hash. So, and the landmarks don't change. So, if the ball is slightly there, he's still trying to find the nearest hash. So, it sometimes he goes in, sometimes he goes out, depending on where the ball is. But typically, he's finding the nearest landmark to
can
make
you
his release. That's where he's
Yep.
working towards.
Yep.
bring the corner back down?
All right.
And this is what I teach my guys. If I'm in fear that they're gonna, and this is the play that most guys are gonna run anyway. They're gonna run four verticals. When you bail, I want you to bail towards the inside. So you're essentially trying to take away two
How
with
far
one.
inside? Like
Right,
down?
and play right there, just right there in the middle. You have the sideline. So if he wants to throw it to wide, that's a whole lot longer throw, and that should give him time with him just bailing. That should give him time to get over there, or free safety to time over there with the speed that's out there. But I don't want him. I have them do it that way because you're essentially carrying both up the seam, and if your quarterback sees that, he's not going to throw that. At least in my mind.
Who's still?
This is
I mean, you're saying he's
that
flat
guy.
right here, right?
Yep. The only thing he would do on the first few steps is he may carry him for like the 3 steps, and he's working his way to the outside.
And
That's
then
it.
so because I mean, if I see that, then I'm calling stick all day, and I'm just telling hit Z, hit Z. Ball. You get the snap release. You see him move outside like that because again, our rule is you play this guy right here. If you're not going to take this kill shot right off the bat, you come off that pre snap, and we're looking here. And the rule is kind of like what Mackey has talked about. If he goes out, you throw in. If he stays in, you throw out. So we're kind of watching. If we see this movement first, we're hitting the stick all day. Because I mean, you got
Oh
this
no,
guy.
no, no. He's not moving. He's not moving outside on
Oh,
the
that's
snap.
that's
Like,
what I thought you said he was
oh no,
responsible.
he said. Oh no, on the snap of the ball, he's gonna carry him for like the first few steps, like backwards,
Right.
and
I
then he's
mean, but
gonna
even that,
start
even
working out.
even those first steps is going to carry him like, at least like right here, right? I mean, and he's essentially angling. Oops, sorry about that. He's essentially angling. We tell him, at least I tell my receivers, attack. Whoever guys head up or inside of you, you're still going to attack their inside shoulder and then set up in between. So it's
Yeah.
so if he angles out this way, it creates a little bit more of space here to just get that ball in there. And we tell the quarterback, if you see that, get the ball and just get it out there. You don't even need to take a step, no drop back, just sling it out there.
Does
And that's
anybody
why I'm gonna
have
have
the
to.
R, or are you just reacting to the ball?
Uh,
Or the R the running
F.
back running
He
back?
calls it R. I called F. So
Yeah,
Man, like
the running back.
the
Are
running
you
back, like
just
I said, man, the running back is he's in no man's land for me right now. He's behind the line of scrimmage. You want to throw that? We gonna react. My guy, I'm gonna trust my guy 1-on-1 to come make the tackle.
which guy? Did this that
My
that
the outside the flat defender. I'm gonna trust him to come because it's. I mean, I don't really, I don't really want to take away somebody else out of the box. Dedicate now. If you're killing me with it, I do have a call that's called smoke, and for that, my defensive end to that side will stand up, and he will run out there and take him away. But I'm only doing that if you're like legitly just burning me with it, and my guy is just having a horrible tackle day. But I'm gonna trust that I've taught him good enough that he can just make that tackle.
well, the one thing I do see is typical air raid guys, they don't necessarily really want to throw this. They want to throw this and this.
But
And
we
then
want to
to
make you,
do this all day.
we want to make you think that we're going to throw that.
Yes, exactly. I mean, we'll throw this, but we really want this and this. So, me personally, my two best athletes on my outside of on my offense are F and my H. So I have no problem getting the ball out to the flats here, each and every time. And again,
Funny, Jason, to say that we're in two different locations, and although we talk a lot, since we met each other, those are my. It's funny. Those are my two best guys too.
yeah,
My two
yeah,
best guys. I'm going to put not the Y. I'm actually going to put him right there on the left, and obviously the next best guy is going to be the running back. So those
yeah.
are my two best guys too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll move H around a lot. I'll put him in motion, put him in the back. I'll hand the ball. I mean, he's my fastest guy. I usually put him my H, but I will take this all day because I think it was Patrick Taylor said something on a video I watched recently where he says, we're trying to get it to a point where it's a one-on-one and it's one missed tackle away from a big, huge play. So essentially it's a one-on-one here, and I'll take that matchup, every day. So. That's just based on that, that's what I would see. So if we started hitting this all and we were successful with it, Randy, well, you said then you would call that. I mean, I don't want you to give away all your secrets or anything like that.
Oh yeah, no, I disagree. I want them all.
You don't know who's watching this, Mike. You may have some guys from North Carolina just kind of peering in.
Hey man, I'm gonna be out with the team that we played. Man, he's actually a part of the. I told you that last time.
Yeah,
he's the head coach of the team that we played, and he got a good taste of what bringing the house means.
Yeah, and so, but that was your one game you guys played, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, he was
They're
not
a passing team.
Maybe they're watching some of our air raid stuff. Maybe he's going to be an air raid guy next year. Who knows?
Hey man, hey. But man, I'll honestly to ask the question on this: How are you guys for your quarterbacks? Is he getting the ball and it's out of his hands quick, or is it when I say quick, is it more so like, hey, as soon as you get the ball in your hand, it's like you look and it gotta go, or is it
probably everybody's
all
gonna do? I'll go first. All right.
Go ahead, yeah.
Like I mentioned, I'm really more interested in your two defender. That's what we do. We count the one defender and the two defender. So who's the one defender? The one defender is the corner. The two defender is going to be your linebacker, strong safety, stud, rover, whoever you call it. We're interested in the number two for most of our quick game reads, and Randy's right. It's a simple read. We're reading the two defender, and we get really good at that. But we always try to put that guy in conflict where he's either got, just like this route, there's either two people running in his area. Like in this route, you've got a guy running basically vertical, and then Randy, Jason's doing a stick thing where he's going to green grass, but when the play starts, he's going vertical. So that's putting that guy at conflict because he's going vertical, and then in front of him, he sees the defender. He sees the running back going horizontal. So that guy's got to do one thing or the other. In my mind, if that guy stands right there, or Jason drop him off,
You talk about this one,
right? Just drop him off. Yeah,
let me get the head in here.
We're going to get 5 yards on the swing every time. We're putting him at, even if he's your best guy, he's going this way. We're going to get 5 yards on that play every time. But the point is, we're putting him in a terrible conflict, and so it's a simple read for the quarterback. Like I said, if that guy hesitates, if that guy squats right there, if that guy squeezes inside, he's told to automatically, by the time he's planting his 1 foot, by the time he plants his back foot in the ground, he's turned and throwing it out there.
Yep.
If on the snap of the ball, if that defender sees him, it automatically starts to track him going forward. then the quarterback goes automatically because this route is not but really probably 3, 4, or 5 yard route. So again, he's getting the ball out so quick before anybody can react to that. And if that guy doesn't get him, that's the only guy that's going to get him. We have scored on something like this, throwing the ball 2.5, 3 yards, and that they get the wrong angle, and we just go down the
Yeah.
field. But we're
And,
playing that guy, and,
and
and,
I,
I'll, and I'll show you my play that I would run against this, just to see what you're doing. But we're doing the same thing. We're running two guys in this area, putting that guy in
yep.
this conflict, and we're doing it every play. We're doing it time after time after time after time. So
So let me ask you this: with this same play right here, everything the same. What's your reaction with everybody pressed up in his face? Like everybody's pressed up. Ain't nothing
well,
on the snap of the
Now
ball. They're
again,
gonna do the same
who's
thing.
got who's got the
yeah,
arm?
yeah. Who's got the running
Who's,
back?
who's
Yeah,
got the running back?
But I'm saying when I say pressed up, now the inside
Again,
guys. When I say pressed up, I'm not saying they're pressed up to put hands on. They're pressed up, so it's looking like we're playing press coverage, but there's nothing changes.
he is reading
he's
that
still
guy.
reading. Still reading that
He
guy.
is not looking at the probably misconception. He is not looking at the routes. He is
Nope.
looking at that guy.
Yep.
And if that guy on the snap of the ball has got to do one or the other, on the snap of the ball, if he's pressed, he better track that guy, or that guy's going to get past him, and we're going to complete the pass. I mean, if you're walk him up, that's even an easier read for the quarterback
Yep.
to
Because
do
I asked
because
that
he's got to
because
do one thing or the other.
Yep.
I think it's a little misconception of what I mean. On the snap of the ball, he's not instantly, if he's up in his face like that, he's not instantly just going to the outside. He's going to take at least 2 or 3 steps backwards just so you can't stand up and throw it to him and work his
But
way there.
if he goes
So
backwards,
if he,
If he goes back, we
if he
throw
goes
another running back.
backwards, and he's
yeah,
throwing it
but that's
automatically too
what
far.
I think it's coming out. How I'm explaining it is coming out wrong. How I'm picturing it in my mind.
If he
So
goes this, if he goes this way, Randy, we throw the running back. And if then we hit this a couple times, what's this player going to do? He's going to start cheating. He starts cheating this way, then we throw here. And all it is the quarterback. Again, kind of just exactly what Mike was saying is we're depending on what kind of concept we're running, we're trying to find that player we put in conflict. And for stick, it would be this player right here. So and we're going to make him guess wrong every time. Granted, now if we see this and we can take advantage of this, the quarterback has the freedom to pre-snap this, and if he likes it, he's going to get the ball one step and he's going to put that ball out there. But then if not, if he doesn't like that, he's coming off it right here, and like Mike said, it's literally he's getting the ball, he's taking a quick look at what this player is doing, and depending on what the player is doing, tells him where he's throwing this ball.
Yeah.
all right, so now let's up it a little bit. I feel like y'all got me in the corner now.
Well, before you go that way, one thing I did want to say is you talked about your corners. If I saw both your corners kind of bailing like this, we saw that. Say we called stick. We called stick. Once we saw that, players came out to me and said, "Coach, the corners are bailing." My next play, again, like you said, is all verts, and we kind of run it kind of like very, very similar to Lasker. Is he's going to run his vertical, right? They're going to run the vertical, but if they see this, he's going to come off. He's going to come off his vertical and right here. While he's bailing, he's just going to run 3 steps, turn around, and the ball will be out. And we can tag in this. We can tag this route and say, hey, we see him bailing like that. We'll take advantage of that. We'll just tag a hitch here, and it'll tell him.
We do the same thing.
3 steps and turn around, boom, ball's out. And literally, all the quarterback does is he gets the ball. He knows, okay, since we tag it, we're automatically throwing it out there. He gets the ball, turns and fires, and that's it. And one thing we also do that you don't see here. Let me get to edit. And Mike, you might be the same way with me with this as well, because when it comes to pass protection, we kind of teach it getting run over slowly. So what I do is I have my guards line up on the heels of the center, and the tackles line up on the heels of the guard. So now what we're doing is we're creating more space because these guys still got to stay at the line of scrimmage. So now you've created more space because they're automatically going to be getting into their two-step drops, right? So then now on top of that, they're going to create more space, and that's just that much longer for these defensive players to get to even to get to contact with the tackles or guards, and then have to put a football move to get around them to get their pass rush going. It creates that much more time for the quarterback to kind of go through his progression. So that was one of the things I didn't really quite get to. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Coach.
Honestly, man, if I seen you doing that, then I would instruct my guys, hey, man, start getting your hands up. You can rush them, but look to get your hands up and not, especially I've had a chance to have taller guys that are on the defensive end. So that would, I mean, I ain't gonna say it works in my favor because it's still a chess match. But my thing for that, I was going to ask about this. So what's your counter to the call that I was speaking about before?
The press.
Smoke call.
The
bring
smoke
them
call?
back. Yeah, bring them back up pressed.
Okay.
Everybody's pressed at this point because I told you I'm about taking away your quarterback's first read and put him in panic mode. So now that we're all pressed up, so and it's still if he goes in now, what if I instruct him to play him man up, but everybody else still does the same thing? But now instead of you see him on the snap playing man, but now that defensive end done stood up and he done slid out, and now here he comes out there and takes the running back away, but your quarterback's not paying no attention to that.
Well, I'll go first on this, Mike, if you don't mind. Again, like I said before, you're saying that this defensive end right here, he's going to go after, and he's going to take
Yeah,
on.
because if I did something like that, then more than likely he's gonna stand up and he's gonna inch out a little bit, and one of them linebackers is coming. So,
Right.
in conceptual,
One of these
especially,
linebackers.
yeah, it's mindset wise for the kids at this level, they see him rushing outside like that. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying he ain't. But for what I've seen, most of the time, that tackle's gonna chase him. Or when I say chase him, his eyes are gonna be focused on not let him get around, which
Right.
opens that hole right there. Which more than likely your guard is gonna be one-on-one on that tackle, and that linebacker is gonna run free.
If
This is how I see it. And that's why
okay.
where the blitzing comes into play because I play into all right. Once you start your pass blocking, you're focused on that guy in front of you. It ain't to the point where I'm looking to, all right, I know that guy's out the way. Let me look to the inside and try to help him out.
Right.
It's that guy, he's going to get wide enough and he's going to create that natural hole to where that linebacker is going to come screaming free.
Okay. Well, this is what I would say. So you're saying on your call, if we burned you enough on this right here, that you're going to send this defensive end and kind of he's going to stand up. So initially he is hand in the dirt, correct?
Yes.
Or is he? Okay. So then all of a sudden,
well, I can't say it's either or.
okay, because
Depending on the play.
that right there would be a telltale sign that something's up. But if I saw that, and you may get me on that one more time, if he flares out like this to go take the running back, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, he's gonna go take him. Then probably this linebacker right here, either whichever one I decide is gonna come.
Mike of the Will.
Yeah, one of them are gonna come. More than likely him.
Like more
we'll just say
right
Mike. Yeah, we'll go for that. And then he's gonna play him man. Like he's pressed not but what I also teach is that when one gone, we have to replace.
Right.
So automatically, most guys would think, oh, well, the slant routes, you forgetting about Will sitting right there. He ain't going to just go away. Mike's gone. So now he knows he has to replace. So now for me, I put your quarterback in panic mode because now Z is manned up and it's not an inside-outside thing. Your quick check down's gone. Now, for me, at this point, I feel like I done sacked him.
Well, here's what I would do, man. And this kind of takes me back to what I was talking about at the beginning. It doesn't matter the alignment of a running back. We can send him either way. So if I started seeing this, and I said, okay, I'd run the stick concept the other way. Have it right there. And well, that's terrible vertical, but you get the idea. And then this would just turn in the backside. And it's just one. It's one. That's a slant. Excuse me. And so now you we have this running back here lined up on this side, and you might send this defensive end out here. Well, all of a sudden now he's going the opposite way. We're running the concept to the other side. And so I can line them up right there either way. That's why I kind of like my running backs offset like this. Because if I had him even, I couldn't. It would be harder to do that because the quarterback getting to his drop. So this way he doesn't have to necessarily worry about avoiding the quarterback in his drop. He can just kind of clear him right behind him. We can run the concept either side. Doesn't matter the alignment. So that's one thing that I would do. Mike, is there anything else you would do different?
Couple things. One, if you're telling me that defensive end can run down my running back, the first time I'm going to throw it just to see if I can. If your defensive end can run down my running back, then we can't win anyway.
Well, see, I'm not saying that he can catch him. The thing would be is that because I know it would be a speed difference. It's instant. It ain't let me run up. It's instantly get out there. Like as soon as the ball snapped, get out there. So it's kind of like he's cutting them off to meet him.
He's just going down the line of scrimmage, essentially, right?
Yeah.
He's just moving.
He's not. Yeah, he's
again. That's
the
defensive lineman. I mean, I'd take my chances the first time, but yes, I do exactly what Jason. The other thing that we do, if I saw you do that, or if you stood up, or I thought you might do that, I'd run block that. We wouldn't pass block. We'd run block that. That's what we do a lot of time for the R swing. We would run block. So that way, we'd be stepping to the right. So if your guy's going to take off, our tackle's not going to pass block. We're going to run block. So we're going to engage you. We're going to be stepping to the right. So if your linebacker comes, our guard's going to step right, our center's going to step to the right. So we should be able to pick up that blitzing linebacker. So again, if we can just get a piece of that guy, then again, my R's going to win. My R's going to win. So that would be that would be the three things. One, I just say, number one, I like my odds of you trying to chase me. Number two, I do the same thing as Jason. I would misread you and just swing him behind. But number three, I would run block it.
Okay, I like that idea too. That's a good idea, Mike.
All right, one more step up.
Let's drop another play.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. You got something, Randy?
That's a great play. I mean, that's a great play, and a lot of, right there, a lot of high schools run that, and that is a very effective play. And like I said, you can tag the outside guys to do that. A lot of people are doing kind of like what you were saying about the bailout. A lot of people we call it a popcorn route, post corner. So they're kind of running this post corner. So they're going to actually take an inside release. Your corner's still bailing, but then about 10 to 12 yards, they're going to stop, plant, and come back.
You're talking about right here, and he's
something like that. Stop and actually plant and come right back, right there, because you've got another window right there, depending on what this X does. So you've got another window right there, particularly because your R's flaring. So you've got actually another little window screen right there. And so that could be a possible tag. If you see that corner bailing, you could tag that and do a popcorn post corner. We call it a popcorn route.
You teach that in steps or do yardage?
Yardage.
That about 10 to 12?
I can tell you in middle school, in high school it may work, but in middle school yardage steps doesn't matter. It doesn't work.
No.
For us, and I've done this for a long time, we just try to put cones out and said, this is the depth. I don't care how many steps it takes, because you got some guys that are 6 foot tall and some guys that are 5'2" tall.
Right.
Steps just don't work to me at that age. They got to learn the basic, depth, the distance, the depth. And then that's where they can see what the green grass is. They spend all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. That just doesn't work for me. All right, and the guy on the green is going to do a speed out.
What's the depth? Is it more like this?
Line of scrimmage. Yep.
Line of scrimmage, like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Second guy's doing a stick.
About right there, or?
Yeah, and then just come back, finding green grass up in there.
Okay.
Our outside guy's doing 7 yards.
7 yards in
planting
there.
his foot down, and then he's coming straight back to the quarterback. I mean,
Inside,
straight, just
like
straight back,
like this.
just like that. So
Okay.
we we
And what
really
about your
just
backside? Your backside go.
backside the same thing. So
So he's doing.
the outside the guy's doing the same thing. So we doing our quick game. We're doing the same concept of both sides. So your safety can't cheat. So now the R is doing the same thing that the inside guy's doing. He's running the shoot. He's going. He's doing the speed out. He's gonna chip the outside defender, and he's running the speed out.
Okay.
If you
Oh,
want to draw the
is your
R,
F
that guy.
is he pass protecting?
He's running the shoot. He's running the speed out.
So
Go
he's out
straight
here.
towards the end, right there. Yeah. Well, he's going to go to the line of scrimmage though.
Okay, let me
He's
fix
going to be
that.
he's going to be the same depth as the other.
Gotcha. Right there.
Exactly. So he's going to run to the outside shoulder of that guy, chip him if he comes upfield, and then he's going to do the speed out. So we can run this to both sides. We don't have to stick to the other side,
Right.
but we're running the same concept to the both sides. We're still reading, and we're still doing the same thing. We're reading your number two defender. That's what we're doing. So if you think about this play, it's the same play that Jason had just drawn up. My guy in the green is really doing the same route that Randy's R was doing. So if
Yep.
you were to take that guy off and run him downfield or whatever, and put the R over there running the swing, it's the same play. We're just doing it a little differently, but it goes back to my point. If we're still putting that two defender in an awful conflict, it's the same play Jason has, but now we're basically getting a little rub route right there. Is what we're
Yep.
getting.
Well,
And then and then we've got this guy coming back behind in this green grass. So again, air raid guy, you're teaching go to green grass. So we're telling our guy, you're going to the green grass.
mm-hmm.
Okay? Wherever that green grass is. Now, the tag on this is the curl, flat, and go. The tag on this is the guy doing the speed out, draw it where he goes up, where he's doing the speed out. So that's the tag on that. And we can run it, and we actually have a lot of success because most people assume we're going to run this to the 3-by-1 side. We have a lot of success reading the number two defenders because when they see the running back running outside, what's that two defender going to do? He's going to go chase him. And then we bring our guy coming back inside, and we hit that guy bunch. And typically, where's the free safety? He's usually stepped over to the B gap on where the 3-by-1 side.
Yep. He's moved over. Yep.
So there's a lot of tastiness out there, you know, in this area on this 3-by-1 side. If you can complete that ball out there where that guy is right where he is right there.
Well, we have to align the guys in. So I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
know we haven't aligned it, but you know, if that two defender over there takes that R on that open side,
yep.
there's a lot of if he can make that catch, the free safety is going to be hard pressed to go over there because he's usually going to be over. He's going to go to the field, right? The field, because a lot of times the free safety's got that number three receiver if he goes vertical, right?
Right.
The safety. So he's got to be moved over to the 3-by-1 side. So we actually like going to the open side. But see, I can go pre-snap and I can call it either side I want to because we're doing the same thing. And to the safety, it's the same thing on both sides, so we can't cheat.
Okay.
And again, that's an easy, completable play. It's an easy play for the quarterback. It's an easy play. We can block it. And I mean, you know, that's one of our most favorite plays. But if you think about it, it's the same play really Jason had drawn up. That's why I wanted to use it.
And my stick out of 3-by-1 is essentially the same. Now, Y is doing a vertical, and F essentially is just swinging opposite, and that's it. He'll just do a slant, a 3-step slant, and that's same essentially the same play, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And we're reading, like you said, the two defender, what he does. Now so Randy, how would you? I'm just kind of curious. How would you align to a 3-by-1?
Well, I want to say this before I get into it. Something that I hammer home a lot, and Jason, you've seen this on film, is discipline. Discipline. I can't stress it enough. If you're going to play zone, you need to stress discipline. are not coming out of your zone until you see the ball. That's the purpose of zone. All right. Now that we got that out the way, set the defense back up the same way it was.
All right. How would it change with the 3 receivers to one side now?
Set it back up like it was.
You
That guy
have
right there. That is my guy. Now
yeah,
I'm
that's your
gonna
guy.
base this off of the roster that I just had. That kid is a plug and play varsity player right now. So he is a very smart kid. Now, just for purposes of not having that guy, he's still gonna be that guy for me. That whatever version of that guy I got, that's him. So you can slide him out a little bit. Slide him out to
See, you kind of
split those two.
split them, and what about the
Yeah.
Sam and B?
He's on the other side. Put him like over there.
Okay.
And keep Mike out a little behind the D end this time. Behind the D.
I'm gonna move him out a little bit.
Yeah. Put him back at about 5.
About 5.
Yeah, and you can leave Will where he's at.
Okay.
So we'll get into something like this.
What about the safety? Is he staying middle field, or is he kind of
the safety has the best seat in the house. The safety is kind of like the corners. The safety does not come down until he sees that ball out of somebody's hand.
But is he shading to the 3-by-1s, or is he staying middle field?
He stays in the middle. Same thing. Our corners, they're gonna go create the umbrella, so you can go ahead and get them out the way. This guy over here, I wanted to make emphasis on why I say he's my guy. Yes, because again, Mike, you made the point earlier that flat route is the same as him swinging. Again, that's no man's land. If whatever, you go ahead and run out there, stand there, whatever. He's taught. You're tag teaming with that corner. So the corner is your safety net back deep. So that's fine. So you got to check your threats that's there. All right, I got one low. All right, but he's in no man's land. So I'm going to trust that I can come and make that tackle. So let me start to get up. So that way, when you think your quarterback can come and throw that curl route, he's there on that.
As far as it can't be in 2 places, it can't be.
No. It's more so if I had to if I was in film session with him right now, I would tell him to play the curl down to the shoot route or to the flat route, because in the time as soon as he sees that ball come out your quarterback hand to the flat route, that's my guy. So I'm gonna assume he has the smarts and the speed to get there pretty much right when the ball gets there. Like he's just basing him off of what I had. Like I said, he's a plug and play varsity player right now.
The only thing I see here is I just see, you covered essentially 3 receivers with 2 guys. Now, a lot of times we would see this safety kind of just shade over like this.
Well, see, in this situation right here, I'm looking at it as taking away the 2, because that guy, the Z, he's running in there to whip Mike. That's what he's cheated out for. So instead of him, he's gonna come out here and remember we said earlier, replace. So if he's he's gonna have to take that right there. I would tell him, hey man, that area is yours. That's yours. So you're replacing where he was. So that's gone. And only thing else, like I said, H is in no man's land. So if you want to throw that to him, I take my chances. That's your guy versus my guy at that point.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, and what I would say, I mean, this is what I would kind of do. I would, as opposed to doing this, I might switch to something like this. If I saw that
corner, but then remember that
I understand it, but then we're reading this guy. If he bails, we come off and we just throw this.
The Y corners is the one quick grain route where you read the one defender. Yep. We did the same thing.
So I mean, granted, I would take this into consideration that he's obviously bailing. So then essentially, if he bails, then it just turns into stick again. It just turns into stick when we're reading this defender.
A lot of people calls it, the smash.
And at that point,
that's kind of what that is. We run that too.
And at this point, this defender, he maybe used to stealing stick and maybe used to see, staying right here. Then all of a sudden, this player's running out and he's planting. He's going, out here.
Yeah, that puts a lot of pressure on that guy. That
He's-
guy better be a
then-
stud.
Then it might freeze him. It might, he run a different way. Then all of a sudden, it opens up the snag right behind, or the flag. So it kind of gets a little confused because again, brother and sister is corner and stick essentially. Because they, take away one thing in the corner, and then all of a sudden it turns into stick. So we'll go back to Mike's play here.
Well, and the same thing, run that play, and exactly what Jason said. Another look is and we have a tag off this play is where the guy in the green is doing the speed out 1, 2, 3, and then he climbs and he's going vertical.
Yeah, so he's like
the wheel route, which is again basically the same thing as the corner route. So again, putting that guy. So if that guy goes and chases that, or if he goes back and covers the curl, then
Yeah, and again,
and that's usually out of the hands in 2.5, 3 seconds again because we're reading the one defender.
Yeah. Yeah, the corner's going to take a little bit longer to develop, sure.
Yeah, we feasted on that play and that tag with that.
That's why I made sure I hammered home before I got into it, the discipline part, because you have got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
Anybody watch this video, you have that's essentially the key to defense. Regardless, you have got to be disciplined. You can't just take a system in a box and think it's going just because it worked for the school down the street, it's gonna work for you. You gotta hammer the discipline aspect home, and that's one thing. While I'm speaking, is I'm using the roster of guys that I just had. I hammered that home with them, so I know that guy that's in the flat. He's essentially working back down. So if that guy's out there like he's drawn up, hey, I know coach told me, hey man, look, you just come down and make the tackle. But I can't let that guy, I got the tag team with my corner because I know he has me deep, so I gotta have him underneath.
Right.
But it's that stuff that you gotta rep and you gotta practice, and like I said, at the middle school level, most of the time people don't work on coverage, and that's what surprises teams. Or what surprised teams about us is that we do. We spend time in practice working on coverage.
Oh, Randy, with regards to the offensive line, again, these guys are going to be dropped back because our whole, steal from Patrick Taylor, it's a great idea. Moving these guys back, that just creates space, and space creates time. So the longer they have to actually create and initiate contact is actually helping us. So we can move back a little bit, but the defensive line can't move any more forward. They can't pass the ball.
And
so
we actually get called offsides every now and then.
Yeah, and we have too.
We get called offside sometimes for our tackles, so, or the officials say move up, or we're gonna call you because that
was my next question. How many too many men in the backfield penalties do y'all get?
Well, we get them every once in a while.
We try to
push the envelope.
Most of the time, the officials just say, "Hey, can you guys got to move up your back too much?" But yeah, we try to push the envelope on that. We do the same thing that Randy does, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So my question is this: what type of quarterbacks are you usually getting? Are you usually getting guys that can spin it a decent amount, or just that guy that can fart it out there enough?
Well, really, with this kind of offense, you don't need someone that's going to be able to throw 40, 50-yard bombs. You just need someone that's going to be able to, most of his throws are under 10 yards.
Oh, no, when I say spin it, I mean like he can, if it need to be, he can go deep. But when I say spin it, I mean like he's an accurate kind of guy. Like he can put it where he wants to put it.
Well, I look for accuracy first. I mean, me personally, when I'm looking for a quarterback, if I don't have a quarterback come back, which I don't this year, what I'm looking for first is I'm looking for accuracy, but I also look for athleticism too because I like to have the quarterback as part of my run game. So I mean, I'm looking for an athlete as well. So I mean that's just me. Accuracy is a big. As far as arm strength, I mean, it'd be great if I get a kid that can chuck the ball down there 40, 50 yards on a dime, but the majority of our guys that we see at that age aren't going to be able to do that consistently. So
I mean, that's what we did.
kid with good throwing motion and he's accurate, and he throws a decent ball, then we can work with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, that's our job. Our number one job is to find a quarterback every year. I mean, that's what I do. Is identify quarterbacks, and we work with them all year to be able to do that. But
still jealous of that.
yeah, I don't know how you do it, but by not doing that, I'm jealous of you and what you're doing with the limited time you have. That is really special.
It's going to be a whole other ball game this year because I don't have any idea what's coming back.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
But that's to answer your question. That's me personally what I'm looking for. Is I'm looking for just the activities. I mean, I'm not requiring him to just chuck the ball over the place. He's throwing 10 yards, 5 yards, 1 yard, because that would lead to my next point. If I saw this defense, I'm just looking for someone who can get the ball out there quick, throws a decent enough ball, and is a good athlete because I'm going to use you in the run game a little bit too.
I mean, and our practices are structured. I mean, this right here is what we do in practice all day, every day.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, your defenders aren't doing this all day, every day, against every team, because like you said, most of your guys, even though you can cover, most of your guys you play are run, so you're not getting the practice that we're getting because this is what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting hundreds of throws and reps every day where we're doing these routes, these simple throws, reading these, these simple keys. We just feel like we get pretty good at that. And yeah, we want to make it where, that you blitz, honestly. Or we want to make it where you take your guy and run that smoke, which is, and I know we have some guys that try to do that exact same thing, is run that guy out sometimes. And another thing we talked about, a one running play that we would do on that, we'd run the outside zone. If your guy's going to do that, we're going to run the outside zone with the quarterback because that defender's not going to be there. And if that blitzing linebacker doesn't get me, we're scoring on that.
Well, not that, but also if I see this too, I might do something like this. I might call this where he's one step and he's out. He's coming here. He's coming here. There's your quick little pedal screen right there. That's supposed to be a block, by the way.
Yeah, and that was a question, Wendy. I would say if you're not going to adjust in the 3 over 2, and that's what I was going to get to too, then you can't defend the bubbles, any type of bubble screen right there, because we can always block those two defenders. The only guy you've got, it's either that ends, it's got to run that guy down, or that that Mike or Will linebacker right there, because we're going to block those other two guys. Running any type of combo screen like that, 3 over 2. That's the very first thing we're going to do is do some screen stuff, and then we're going to run a vert off the screen action.
Yep.
We're going to bubble that. Then we're going to bubble that guy, act like we're blocking that guy, and then we're going to go deep. I mean, Jason saw that against. We did that against the team we played, and we scored on that.
Did I get that right, Mike?
On seventh grade, seventh graders can do that right there.
Did I get that right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we did, Jason.
I've never seen that play. It was a great play. Actually, I think I stole it from you and they put it in my playbook. Or that, or it's out of 2 by 2.
Wide open against the team that was.
Oh, it was. It's beautiful.
I got a play. I have a play like that. We scored a 1-play touchdown on. Not this season, last year. Except it wasn't out of 3 by 1. It's out of 2 by 2.
And if you're going to go 3 over 2, we're going to stay in trips the whole time.
Hey, Randy, I think you need to send your the film to Mike too. It was good. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, man.
I think it was number 12. He's a good little athlete. Was it number 12?
No, number 10, number 12, and number 10.
Yeah, he was. Well, if I remember number 12, he was a good little athlete.
Number 12 is our middle. He would be that guy that scooted out right there at linebacker, and he's another plug and play kid.
Yeah.
You put him on. He got to get some size on him, but you can plug him and play him on at least at safety.
And that's what we get a lot. We get out of that 4-2. That's what teams try to do to us. They do exactly that, and they'll move the middle linebacker over our center sometimes. Try to move everything towards the trip side. So we get a lot of that. So
you'll see right here, like that guy dropped down.
No, keep where Randy had him right there. Move the other linebacker over the center. I mean, just
now is he directly over? Or is he back?
No, back like that. They're going to take their linebackers instead of being in big gaps. they're going to move them. They're going to shift
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'll see
We,
too.
we get a lot. We do get a lot of that. They don't go 3 over 2, but they're going to try to move that guy out like Randy did, and they're going to move the other linebacker over there. And yeah, they may bring that guy in a little tighter,
Well, I
particularly.
see sometimes that they'll
We
shift this
get
guy.
we get that a lot if we bring the R to the trip side.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I've seen that too. Where
Right. If we do that, we have a team. We play, the team that I showed you. That's what they did. They
yeah,
did
they dropped him
automatically.
over.
They bring that guy up, thinking that they have you outnumbered there.
Then only that, but then I call the then tell the quarterback, okay,
Then you got the slant or
right
whatever
there,
it is.
that's what I'm hitting.
That's right. All day long.
Replace the blitz.
But again, on that right there, you've got who's got the R swing because you're going to block 1-on-1, 2-on-2, and then you're going to block the three. So you got all the blockers blocked. Who's got the R? Who's got the R flare? Yeah, if that defense,
If he's blitzing, I'm assuming it would be him, right?
yeah, that or that or like Randy said, that the defensive end.
Yeah.
And again, I like the chances on those two things. And
Yep.
again, so you're not talking about great plays or downfield plays or plays that take a long time. We're trying to get it out of the hands. And the other thing, I don't know how you call your signals in, but we don't get a lot of blitzes in stunting because we're running plays usually about every 14 seconds.
No, I'm hand signal. Everything is hand
So
signal.
you're doing hand signals, so you're able to get your guys lined up in it.
Yep.
Most of the time, the guys we play are not because, like you said, the other teams are not going. Most of the other teams are huddling up. So during the game, it just breaks down because they're just not used to us going so fast, play after play after play. I'm not really sitting around looking to see how you are going to react to me. I'm going to call it and I'm going to go with it. And sometimes,
Yep.
and you're right, sometimes you're going to get me, but I'm going to go just as fast the next play because I'm thinking
Yep.
that at our level, we're going to win more than we lose.
Yep.
That's just kind of how us air raid dudes think.
And it's not, when it comes to plays like this, it's not necessarily plays. It's more of an ideology. Say, we're going to attack somebody and make them wrong. And we're going to use a set of plays to do it. So it's like, the whole idea is, it's not stick or it's corner or forward. It's okay. What part of the field do we want to attack? And the idea is we're going to make you cover the entire part of the field, and even if you blitz, you're still going to be wrong because we just have something to replace the blitz. So it's more of a when you're calling a defense against this type of an offense, you're not calling a defense against a set of plays. You're calling it against a thought process or a collection of ideas, I guess you would say.
Okay, because we've talked about passing, move your linebacker back on the open side, back out. Move him back out. Yeah, that guy.
Sam?
Move him back out. Move him back out a little bit. Okay. Now, and we haven't talked about run at all.
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and count. Let's say, so Randy's saying this is something like he might do. Okay, and we get that a lot. Like I said, we're going to get
No,
this.
no, we ain't doing that. Oh no,
Well,
oh no.
yeah. Now we're going to run the ball because now we're getting the five. Now look what we got in the box.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
We got five. We got five in the box now. So
oh no,
now,
that's a dead giveaway.
now we're going to wear now we got you in the run game. Now we can run
Nah.
anything we want to because you got five in the box now.
If you see me in this, it's pretty much me saying, man, we can't stop you. We need the ball back.
This is what we see a lot of trying to stay in the 4-2, because see, to me the 4-2 is the easiest thing to attack. Because if we go 3-by-1, you can't. To me, you can't stay in the 4-2 and go 3-over-2 against teams that know what they're doing offensively.
But
You're gonna have to move.
You replace one of these
over.
guys with a linebacker or a corner.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do. Yeah, you're gonna have to get out of that, or go into something like this to get the 3-over-3, or go to a 3-man front.
Yes and no. Ideally, paper wise, yes, but if throwing in the other factors, what good of a day? What kind of day are y'all having? Are y'all having a bad day at dropping the ball, or are you off, or are we a more physical team than you? Your guys is peaking when the ball comes. Ideally, yes. More bigger percentage, yes.
Well, I can tell
But
you, everybody we play is more physical than us. We are teeny.
no, I'm not necessarily meaning size. When I say more physical, I mean like when because that's another one of the principles that I preach. Like win, lose, or draw, you gonna know you played us because we're looking to not necessarily like it ain't gonna happen on every play, but when you get a chance within the limits of the game, hey man, lay the lumber, let him know. And Jason, you saw in the film a lot of the times when they threw the ball, what happened? They dropped it. They didn't want it.
Yep.
Hey, they didn't. So ideally, what you're saying, Mike, yeah. But again, it all comes back to what kind of day you're having. I could have a perfect defense, but that day my guys just left their tackling ability on the bus, and vice versa.
Yeah, I got you.
Y'all guys left their hands on the bus.
Right. Gotcha. Been there, done that too many times. Unfortunately. Yep, I understand.
All right, fellas. Well, we're going on about an hour and a half now. So
That was actually a lot of fun.
that was. I appreciate it, fellas. So we can go back and do this again. Make this a regular thing. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
Y'all,
All right. So,
y'all almost got me to pull out some stuff out the rabbit hat.
well,